Good morning, team. It's Brandon. Going to hit him for some morning cardio. Getting a lot of questions from clients. Interesting mix too about why they're so hungry when they start dieting. And this comes up a lot, and I've noticed, of course, myself after a year of bulking, when I went back to a cleaner, more whole foods based diet, I had a lot of cravings. Those cravings were mainly for things that contain fat and sugar. So why is that? Why are they so powerful? I've noticed with most of my clients, I have a client now who is very fit. She's active all the time. She had a pretty clean diet. I do a nutritional interview with everybody before I start. And she's not experiencing the same craving. She feels pretty satisfied after eating the change that I made. But that change wasn't so extreme. It was kind of more marginal and more dialing in what her macros needed to be. The client that has the most difficulty right now is shifting from a diet that was mostly fast food, very high fat, very high sugar. And that seems to be the case. So the ones that are switching over from that type of a diet have the most difficulty. They express the most feelings of deprivation, of either not having enough food or not having food that they want, not being satisfied by the food that they're eating. It's interesting. So what I'm finding is it takes clients sometimes months when they're switching from that kind of a diet to start to feel good and start to feel less cravings, fewer cravings, and less of a sense of deprivation when they switch over to a high nutrient as opposed to a high calorie diet. And that's what they're doing. They're switching over from a very high calorie, low nutrient diet to a low calorie, high nutrient diet. So it's a big shift for them. Behaviorally, it's a shift, and what they're taking in is a shift. So why is that? Anytime I wonder why is that in regards to something with nutrition or physiology, I jump over to the National Institutes of Health, the NIH. They have a wealth of information on there that's open to the public, and you can get all this stuff at the touch of a fingertip. And I spend an inordinate amount of time reading journal entries, scientific papers on why these things happen. Far too complex of an answer to fully flesh out here. But long story short, the hypothalamus, the little part of the brain under the midline behind your eyeballs, controls your feelings of hunger, ultimately. And that is stimulated by different hormones located in different parts of your body. Even parts of your body where energy storage is regulated, like fat and the pancreas, even the gut, where food ultimately goes and is distributed throughout the body. So those hormones think of them as being just completely out of whack when you have a very high calorie, high fat, high sugar diet that's relatively nutrient lean. And then when you get over to a diet that is low calorie but high nutrient, your body is craving those things. And a lot of research out there too on the power of sugar and its addictive properties and how addictive it is, relating it even to like opioids and heroin addiction. So that's pretty interesting. So it looks like when people are coming off of that kind of high fat, high sugar, low nutrient diet, they're going through withdrawal. They have these very powerful cravings for those foods that they were consuming. So you've got to give yourself some time to kind of flesh those things out and get them out of your system. Otherwise, you're going to experience those cravings for a very long period of time. Most of my clients, it looks like the ones who eat healthier, they have fewer cravings within a week or two. The ones that are on the other end of that spectrum, it's sometimes 4, 12, 16 weeks before they really see that change and they start having an easier time of it. Hope that helps, guys.